Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to.
Of course, in 2011, I was also, I led a team. We were the only set of lawyers that were able to, what would I call, nullify, what do you call it now, a governorship return. And we went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court upheld our decision. They had to go back and do the election all over again. So, to me, those cases are very memorable because they are like you doing the impossible thing, you know. And of course, you know, when I was making my application for the silk, all of those cases come in very handy because of they being landmark cases, you know.
So, which has been the most memorable case that you have lost?
You know what I can't remember because what I do a lot of assessment. I don't just take cases for the fun of it. And most of the time, because of my background, you know, I am one of the two people who pioneered alternative dispute resolution in Nigeria. And because of that background, I always look at the case and say, you know what, this is not a case that should go beyond here. And 9 out of 10, if I take your case, I believe in its merit, and most of the time, I end up winning. But if there is any case that I feel, of course, for criminal cases, when you lose, especially when there are murder cases, they give you sleepless nights because you see kids. I was in Kargbo. You see kids of 5 who are just about 15, 16, 18. All of them, you know, they are going to the gallows, and you try as much as possible, but the law is blind to sentiments, and no matter what you say, as long as they find them guilty, you know what the result will be. So for those cases, yes. And that's why for most times I get scared of holding those cases. But I had to do those cases because it was a requirement that you do pro bono cases, and they were not funny because you go to sleep losing your sleep over that.
So anytime you win a case, how do you celebrate?
Those days when I was drinking, I take a bottle of stout, but I have stopped drinking.
So what do you do now?
What I do now, most of the time, the celebration, I call my colleagues and we sit together and we go over the case and ask every one of them what experiences have they taken from the case, and hoping that they would diarize the case and learn from what we do. But beyond that, it's becoming more or less, there's another one in front of you.
So anytime you lose a case, how do you feel? What happens?
You feel bad because somebody has entrusted or had entrusted in you his case, hoping that you have answers, and hoping that your involvement as a professional could give him victory, success, or minimize the loss. But if you fail, it's difficult to look at the person in the face and start pontificating or giving excuses. Most times what you say, oh, I'm sorry, that's the way the law is, we've lost, you know. Beyond that, what can you do? If you go to bed with that load, you die because you have some other problems ahead of you, believe me. And I've written a lot about this, talking about the burden of the litigation lawyer, and telling the public why we are always with one ailment or the other, why most of the time we struggle with high blood pressure, diabetes, back pain, spinal problems. It's because of our work. That is, maybe if I ever have time in a week to sleep for anything beyond 4 hours, maybe it's on a Saturday. Maybe it's on a Saturday. Most of the time, your job is 24 hours. You drink coffee, you drink energy drink, you do whatever you can to stay awake and have the energy to cruise through your job. And it's not funny.